Hello, fellow humans. Today, I'm doing something a bit different. Today, I'm playing, also at the same time, reviewing. So today, I'm going to be reviewing movies. Yes, I never thought this day would come, and you probably didn't either. Because I'm usually a gaming channel, and I'm going to be gaming in this. But well, I got a private server and Piggy Bliss 100 players, so I mean, why not just play this while I review movies? Today we're going to be doing, things differently as we do. So basically, I have a group, so I will leave the code for this private server in the description, so you can play it for yourself. Okay, anyway, today we're going to be reviewing Child's Play from 1988. Now, Child's Play 1988 was my first horror movie that, I've ever seen. And, it's now one of my favorites because of, me seeing it first. So, I think that it's a very good movie, no problems or anything. Well, there are a few moments where it could have done a bit better, but overall, great movie, great story, everything. Some people look at it through different lenses and say, oh, this is a bad movie because it was made a long time ago. That doesn't mean it can't be scary or really just a good movie in particular. So, that's why I'm gonna start reviewing these movies, just to show that they are good movies. By the way. Just saying. So, yeah. Anyway, hope you like this series, because I'm going to do all the Child's Play movies up until Bride of Chucky, because I think that's where the series sort of gets wonky. So, I'm gonna go up until Bride of Chucky. Anyway, Child's Play 1988. So, we start off with, we start off with Charles Lee Ray. I haven't seen this movie in a bit, but that doesn't matter. So we start off with Charles Lee Ray introducing himself by being shot in the leg by a police officer. Yeah, that's basically it. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so he gets shot in the leg by a police officer, and he thinks that's it, but he goes into a toy store, and he runs around, and apparently it's the first time that actor has ever shouted on camera, and honestly, I don't think I'd want to get his order wrong at McDonald's. So, anyway, he goes around, and then I'm guessing he remembers something that his voodoo master teacher person told him. So he transfers his soul into a doll, leading into one very messy toy store, aka every toy store worker's nightmare. Okay, so then, we're introduced to probably the cutest character in all of horror movie history, Andy Barclay. I'm pretty sure that's his name. He is a little actor, as we can tell, and he is also one of the best actors I've ever seen. And some of you may argue, yeah, he has some robotic lines. I agree with that. He's just probably the cutest actor of all time. Although, yeah, he was just as good in Child's Play 2. Anyway, so, Child's Play the first. We're going to be sticking to that instead. So, in Child's Play the first, we are obviously introduced to Andy Barclay, and he's making breakfast for his mother on his birthday. That is one good child there, if you ask me. I mean, I don't make my parents breakfast on my birthday. Anyway, so yeah, he goes around making his breakfast, and he sees a commercial for the Good Guys dolls. Probably his favorite toy at the time, and we all had our favorite toys at his age. Mine was dinosaur toys. This has nothing to do with the review. I was just pointing it out. Anyway, so Andy Barclay sees this, and he wakes his mother up just like everybody else when they were like 6 years old. Because, I mean, who didn't jump on their mother to get them away, or their father? Because I know I did. No. Does that make me weird? So, after this, Andy sees the Good Guy doll sized present. So he gets delighted. And, well, let's just say it wasn't a Good Guy doll. It was a bunch of clothes. I know we were all thinking the same thing as Andy. Where is our toy? So he gets a second present. Hey, it's actually something related to the Good Guys. Related. So he gets the Good Guys builder set. Now, I would be pretty happy, but Andy seemed a bit sad because he didn't get what he wanted. And honestly, I can see that. I can see that very, very well. So Andy plays with his builder set, I think. I can't really remember that part, but that part isn't important. Anyway, yeah, I'm pretty sure, alright, so, oh god. So, basically, yeah, Andy watches this commercial. He's like, wow, I want that. And then we're introduced to his mother again, and she's at the hotel work. So, her work friend is like, hey, there's this hobo on the streets, and he's selling Good Guys dolls for like half the price or something. So she's like, okay, here we go. So they go over. He's like $50, and they're like, it's usually $100. It's like pre-owned. I won't take it. And then the mother's like, no, it's fine, I'll pay. And then they're like, and then she's like, and then her work friend's like, no, $30 or something. And he's like, fine, $30. And she's like, okay. So they get the $30 thing. The $30 doll from the burnt out toy store. And well, you know what happens. So Chucky is now let loose in the house with Andy and the babysitter. Cause hey, work friend is now Andy's babysitter. That's just how it works. Anyway, so we are introduced to our first kill of the movie, and boy, it is pretty good. I like it. So, flour falls onto the floor, and, well, casually knowing that Andy's the only one in the house with her, she goes over to Andy. She thinks it's Andy, but she hears the pot plants rattling or something. I don't know. So she goes over, threatening music, because you know something spooky's about to happen. Hey, there wasn't anything there. Yeah, there wasn't anything there. When she turns around, Chucky hits her in the head with a hammer. And let's just say she fell out the window of basically the top story and falls onto a van. Wow. So, that was the first kill of the entire franchise, and it's one of the best kills of the first movie. To me. Okay, so then we're introduced to Detective Mike Norris. He's a cool detective. So, he's going around, he's like, we need to find out who did this. And then he sees footprints in the flour. So he goes around looking at Andy's feet, and he's like, well, that doesn't have flour on them, kind of been Andy. And then well, Andy goes to sleep while the detective people are looking around, trying to find out who did it. And, well, Andy finds out who did it. It was his brand new good guy, aka bad guy. So he goes over to his mother and Detective Mikey, and he says, "Hey, I know who did it. It was my good guy doll." And they're like, "You silly goose. I'm pretty sure it wasn't a doll." And they're like, "Go back to sleep, silly goose." So he goes back to sleep, and Chucky tells him a little secret, and, well, he reveals his identity to him. So we get another scene with Andy talking to his mother, and he's telling her, well, what Chucky said. He's Charles Lee Ray, the Lake Shore Strangler. And, well, Andy's mother tells him to just go back to bed, because it's all, well, he's just tired. Let's just say that. Yeah, he's definitely tired. That's what's happening here, Mr. Mother. Miss Mother. That doesn't really make any sense. Alright, so Andy, well, he goes to sleep with a very open mind, knowing that, well, not really knowing, but sort of knowing that Chucky is a killer. He probably doesn't notice it. He's probably just still like, this is my favorite good guy, aka bad guy. So, yeah. So, in the morning, Chucky tells him where he wants to go. So when Andy's dropped off at school, well, he doesn't exactly follow the code. He doesn't go to school. He escapes school. Well, aka School of Good Guy Dolls, because there aren't barely any people there. Seems it's just good guy dolls. Well, there are people, and they're bringing like 2 good guy dolls with them. It's the population. I don't know where all those seats are going, because I'd imagine they're just, well, used for the good guy dolls. So, basically, Chucky, he goes around to his buddy, not so buddy, well, his getaway driver from the night he was shot, and soul transferred. While Andy is, well, doing his business, Chucky goes into his house, his getaway driver's house. I forgot his name. So he goes in, and, well, what do you know? He opens the stove, turns on the heat, and when getaway driver person in the rat home comes to see what's happening, he shoots, and, well, he blows up for the second kill. That was a pretty good one. His house literally explodes. Okay, next. So basically, Andy runs away, and for some reason this part goes blank. Just kidding. So Chucky goes on to find his voodoo master to find out how to get his soul out of his, well, good guy doll body, aka bad guy. So anyway, he goes looking around. Yeah, he goes looking around. So he finds his house, and he asks how to, well, get out of the body, because pretty sure if you were stuck in a good guy doll, probably wouldn't want to be stuck in there, would you? Okay, so Andy isn't actually there. So Chucky goes around, he's like, "Hey, how do I get out of here?" And then, well, Voodoo Master's like, "Nah, I won't help you. You're an outrage against nature," or something. And so Chucky gets pretty mad at that, so he brings his own voodoo doll of him. Voodoo doll 3 AM YouTubers totally milked this. So anyway, I mean, you know the ones I'm talking about, I'm J Station and stuff. We've all watched DJ Cook before. So basically, he stabs it. Well, but he stabs the voodoo doll, letting out a spurt of blood. And but before he did that, voodoo guy's, well, leg was broken. So Voodoo's guy's leg is broken now, and his arm. And then he tells Chucky what he needs to do. He needs to transfer his soul into the first person he let his little secret to, and that happened to be Andy. He says he doesn't believe him. And, well, he definitely doesn't believe him, because he, well, as we know, stabs him. So, that is basically the end. Goodbye. Just kidding. So basically, he, well, knowing that he is going to have to transfer his soul into Andy, goes around looking for him. He finds him, and, well, just kidding, that's not what happens. So he goes around, and he ends up in the car of, you guessed it, Detective Mike Norrisy. And Mikey. I'm just going to call him that, because that is a way better name than Mike Norris. What kind of name is that? Alright, anyway. Oopsies, I was trying to... So anyway, well, you know what happens. Mikey's in his car, and we're led to one of the best sequences of the entire movie. He strangles him while he's driving and ends up crashing with Chucky. Well, he's strangling him, and then he lets go strangling him, and then he puts knives into the seat, and that's one effective way. I mean, some horror villains just aren't that effective, but Chucky, man, he is effective. Anyway, so you know the drill. Chucky tries doing that, they end up crashing. And Chucky tries getting in a kill to Mikey, but Mikey shoots him, leaving a wound. And, wow, Chucky's surprised. Somehow. So, you know, Chucky. Huh? So Chucky. Why am I calling him Chucky? Sounds weird. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop calling him Chucky. That sounds weird. Right, so basically, Chucky, he is shot now, and actually, I do know what happens. So mother of Andy goes on and tries to find the hobo, and, well, Mikey finds him as, well, mother is being deaded by the hobo, because she just wanted to know where he got it from. Mikey brings out a gun and says he'll shoot everybody at that hobo camp. So they all run away, and he tells them where, a burnt up toy store. Well, that's sort of weird. So Andy's mother listens to Andy, and, well, she asks if, well, Chucky's alive. She threatens him to throw him in the fire. That's one effective way. We got all the effective ways today. And, well, let's just say Chucky did listen, and that made Chucky pretty angry, because he bit Andy's mother. Wow. So, with Andy's mother being bit, she is scared. So, she goes to Mikey saying, this is definitely one thing we need to look into. So they do, and, well, that's when they go to the hobo camp. But I already explained what happened at the hobo camp. Wouldn't it be boring to hear me say the exact same thing? Yes. So we know what happens at the hobo camp, so moving on. So basically, we know what happens. Yeah, I'm just kidding. So they go home, and, well, Andy's at home now. Just kidding again. He's at this, like, hospital place, I think, and, well, this hospital person people is like, hey, you should probably, like, you know, like, get treated. So basically Andy, well, being a little kid, he obviously doesn't want that, and he keeps stumbling over. So now with our hero being here, Chucky kills the hospital person. So that was one of my favorite kills, because, well, all like the Yeah, you get it. So, that is our next kill, and sadly, I think the last one. So they bring Chucky to the house, throw him in the fire, and man, is that once very cool looking. A burnt up Chucky, cause oh yeah, that is cool. So anyway, burnt Chucky, which looks awesome, goes around and he tries to kill Mikey, mother, and you guessed it, Andy. Well, he doesn't try killing Andy. He just wants to transfer soul into him. I'm guessing that's worse, because then you're a doll, and you're basically dead. So, well, they shoot his limbs off. Then they shoot his heart, and he dies. And that is the end of the movie. I hope you liked this video, because I'm doing Child's Play 2 next. And I'm probably going to remember that one just a bit more. So, I hope you're going to enjoy the reviewing horror movie series, because I'm going to do it a bit more. I just thought it'd be interesting. That was me reviewing 1990... What? That was me reviewing 1988's Child's Play. Whoa. And, well, see you in 2 years, because that is when Child's Play 2 came out. You know what that's called? It's called 1990. And then there was a 1991 version, just 9 months after Child's Play 3. Then there was pretty big gap. All the way I think until like 2000 or 2001 or something. Then there was Bride of Chucky. We're gonna end this series, but man, it's sad to see the series go. Thank you for watching. This was Puzzled Pieces, and see you next time. Bye bye. And yeah, just remember, stay away from that good guy doll, cause oh god, mine's acting